Rabbi Adam Zagoria-Moffet. It's amazing to welcome you to our series. This is Masorti Judaism series called Two Rabbis, Five Opinions that we're bringing to you in celebration for the new year and the high holidays. Rabbi Adam, you are the rabbi at St. Albans Masorti Synagogue, a friend, a colleague, a bit of a superstar. How are you doing today?
Not a superstar, but yes, doing well. And I'm sure, like many people, eagerly anticipating New Year, preparing for and getting ready for.
Great. It's lovely to welcome you. We're sitting with one question. What is Yom Kippur?
Well, I think Yom Kippur is about joy, actually, which might sound quite strange because a lot of people think about it as a really solemn, sad, heavy day. Partially due to my own background in Sephardi Judaism, I see Yom Kippur as a celebration in some way. And if you listen to the music, especially of Sephardi Piyutim, and you spend time in that environment, you see people really getting to a kind of ecstatic sense of joy on Yom Kippur. And I think that's because Yom Kippur is meant to be a moment at which, after the year has started, after things have started to regroup and regenerate and renew, it gives you a time to solidify what the next year is going to look like. It's a matter of planning, I think. And in some ways, although we hesitate around the word fate, it's a acceptance of the fact that something is sealed and a release as a result from having a sense of the fact that fate is fixed, at least for a year.
And so if our way markers are of Rosh Hashana, which is a day of creation, Yom Harat Olam, the birthing of the world, and Yom Kippur is the end marker. How does that align in terms of those two markers either side of the 10 days?
Well, it's, to me, I imagine it as a circle, as I think we often do when we think about our year, the wheel of the year, so to speak. And Rosh Hashanah is, yes, it's Yom Harat Olam. It's also Yom Adin and Yom HaZikaron. It's got so many names. But when we talk about it as the birthday of the world, I think we sometimes maybe don't give ourselves the best impression of what that means. Because at least from my point of view, when we talk about creation in Judaism, we're not talking about an event. It's not that there was nothing and then there was something. That's actually not so consistent with a lot of our sources. I tend to think of it much more as though creation is an ongoing process. There's this rabbinic idea that this is actually still day 6 of creation, right? That we're still on Friday afternoon. Shabbat hasn't come in yet. And it's just kind of continually ongoing a process of God engaging with the world, recreating the world every year. So I think if you add the words re, to the beginning of creation, it actually is a much better thing to celebrate. What we're celebrating on Rosh Hashanah is the recreation of the world, the renewing of the world. And in that sense, when we think about what we're doing in shul over 10 days of tshuva, it's actually about planning for that next cycle, that next spin around the wheel. That when the world is renewed at the beginning of Tishrei, there's a time in the first 10 days when everything's a bit fuzzy. Everything's a bit kind of dangerous in some way, but also possible. There's more potential for things to be different than they were last year, to change them, to make them better. And when we sit and reflect and sing and pray and fast and everything else that we do during those days, what we're doing in some way is helping to set an intention almost for that coming year, the year that's already begun actually, and to think about what we want it to be. We have basically a kind of grace period in the first 10 days of the new year to set and to settle what the renewed creation is going to feel like. And the reason that Yom Kippur should be joyful is because it's the conclusion of that process, those 10 days of uncertainty, of things being both empowering, but also quite scary. And if you took that seriously, that idea that actually when the year ends, as it's about to, and we come around and everything is then open and available to be changed, then we really have quite a big task on our hands, because we have the opportunity to set what we want the year to be. And when we get to Yom Kippur and we finish that process and the gates close, it makes sense that it would be a celebratory event, because we have set the momentum of the wheel spinning, that the next year at least, we'll have an opportunity to know what it'll feel like, and our fate, as we said, is already set. So I think the idea you have in mind, as usual, how we imagine things and what the image is, actually makes it very different. And if Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah are steps on a line, then it feels very constrained. But if they're kind of vectors on a circle that's spinning, it actually gives you a much better sense, or at least it gives me a much better sense of what it is we're doing.
Mm. I love that image, kind of recapturing our understanding of Yom Kippur and enabling us rather to feel constrained and dour and kind of very serious, that somehow Yom Kippur should be a day of celebration of the conclusion of a process. Rabbi Adam, it's wonderful to learn with you today. I wish you and your family a good fast, a happy and sweet new year. The final word is with you.
Well, thank you. And I hope for those listening or watching that actually this year, especially this year, is an opportunity maybe to think about things differently. And when we get to Kol Nidre and we say the next year as it's coming, here's what we want it to be like, I think that's the intention we should have actually, is not just looking back, because by the time we get to Rosh Hashanah, we're already in the new year, but actually looking forward and embracing the idea that we actually have the ability to set the agenda and to set the momentum of that spinning wheel as we go. And as we say in the Sephardi community, Tizku l'shanim rabot, may we merit many more years of spinning around and starting over.
Shana Tova, thank you.
Shana Tova.